So we're back for part two, and this is a little longer video. Sorry about that, but so got in, super excited. It was like this soap opera, but physical, and I don't know, there was something about that combo for me who needed a world to escape to, truthfully, where there were heroes, like I said, just made me really interested. So kind of like was into it, but I will say as a girl watching it, there weren't many like females for me to relate to. This was like the Sable era of wrestling, if you can think about it that way. Interestingly enough, I probably would have liked Nitro because I was a dancer and I would have like loved the Nitro girls, but never ever watched WCW. So sorry everyone, I was always a WWE girl. And then China came along and she was strong. She was just such a different like form of female on that screen that I had never seen before. And I just thought she was really cool. And I was like, oh, like power and strength. That was something I was like, oh, I would love that. I would love to tap into that. But she didn't really look like me, kind of more so than the other girls, but super strong. I always just loved that about her and always just loved Joanie and loved China for that. And then, of course, in early 2000, February 2000 actually, Lita came on the scene. And I don't know, I was automatically drawn to her. I'm like, this chick, I want to be like her. And I was 13 years old. And I was like, I still did not want to be a pro wrestler, but I'm like, I want to look like her. I loved her personality. I don't know, I was hooked like so many other people. She got over super quickly. And that kept me really engaged in wrestling for a long time. And one of the things I got from her was her story of like flying to Mexico in 97 to learn how to be a pro wrestler. I mean, it's this crazy story of how she got into the business. And again, I didn't want to be a pro wrestler, but I looked at that story and said, wow, I could make my own life for myself. And this sounds so silly, but I lived in a world of very limited options and very limited places I could go in my life. And that was one of the first times like, oh, I'm not limited to where I am or what I'm seeing. I could choose to do something totally different than everyone else around me. And that's why I did. And that's why Amy Dumas, Lita, will always have this very, very special place in my heart because she made a 13-year-old girl believe that. And as a 30, plus year old woman now, figure out my age if you want to, I still believe that. And it was those seeds planted at that very young age. And then the mentors who came into my life after. So that's a little bit more about my background in watching wrestling. I guess the next video, if you're liking these, I'll do a little bit about how I came back into watching wrestling as an adult. And my like kind of involvement since I was like graduated high school. I jokingly always say that Amy retired the year I graduated high school. So I feel like we graduated together. But yeah, so that's the next part. Sorry this video was a little longer. Let me know if you want part 3.